I can hear you. Okay, good. Thank you, Jim. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us this morning. We're going over the pickup report. Thank you, Victoria. This is our 2020 pickup report. My contact information is on the screen. If you have any questions aftermath, if you do have questions while we're going over the information today, please feel free to drop your questions in the chat. I will also go over around the room at the end of the presentation to make sure that we address any of your questions that you might have. This session will be recorded, and we will be saving this information for ourselves. So we can always go back and refer to it, and also for our new joining team members. This would be helpful. All right, so we're done with our housekeeping notes. Here we go. This is our 2022 pickup report. Most of you, if not all of you, are familiar with this report. You're preparing this every day and sending it out. The difference with this pickup report for the next month and a half or so, when we distribute this to everyone for use, you will only be running future data and inputting future data. Obviously, there is no past data because we're not in January of 2022 yet. First thing you want to do with the pickup report is to save it with today's date. I know it might sound silly that I'm outlining this, but you have no idea how many times pickup reports date just not corresponding with today's date. So you always want to just go ahead and save it. Today's date, we're running it on the 12th of November, so we're saving it as the 12th. After you save the report, you want to go to your Datasheet Future tab. You want to highlight on the top corner, if you can see, okay. On the top corner, to highlight the entire sheet, you want to copy this information and you want to paste it in the datasheet prior day. Now, to double check that you did everything correctly, you can always go to the snapshot, and this information should be 0 because we don't have any variance compared to data that we had on the books yesterday to today. Now we can start working and pulling our future room sold. Now, to prepare this report, you will need to run 3 reports. Future room sold total, your future room sold redemptions on the books, and you want to always double check if you have any out of order rooms. So that's the 3rd report. You all know our favorite on-queue front desk system. The reports are located right here, right on the reports. You want to go to all reports, go to the future room sold, and we would like to please ask you to run this report for the entire year. So we start on January 1st and we go to the December 31st. Now, then you click OK. This report will take us roughly, just because it's a lot of data, this will take roughly about 5 minutes to run. I've tested it several times over the last couple of days. So for the sake of saving everyone's time, I've actually pre-populated this report prior to the call. The only thing that people get a little confused with is how to export it. For the sake of just presentation, I'll run it for just one day, January 1st of 2022. Once the report populates, on top left side of the screen, you will see options right on top. You want to go to where it's a little envelope. You want to hit export, and you always want to hit it, export it with Excel 7 or Excel 8. It's up to you. Really, this this should not make any difference for the sake of this, of preparing the report. But that's what you want to do. You will get a future rooms sold report that looks like this. Now, just to make sure, we're working on our data sheet future, as we already pasted the past data to the data sheet prior day. Now we're going to the report that has been populated from the on-queue from desk, and I'm gonna make it a little bigger so everybody can see. For the rooms sold, we want to take the column G, sold total, and we want to just take this entire line without the total in the end and copy it. Go back to our pickup report and paste it into the column B. Now that would be your future rooms sold number. Now to update the ADR, we're going back to our pre-populated report from on-queue from desk. We're going to the column K, which reads ADR. We're taking all of our ADR information all the way through and pasting it into the column C on the pickup report data sheet future tab. Now, how to know that your you did the right thing and your data has been pasted? You go into your snapshot tab, and there you will see variance compared to previous day. You see we picked up 56 rooms in January at $8,200 revenue. There's some ADR decline of 41 cents. And after you've done that with the data sheet future, you successfully pasted your future room nights on the books and your future ADRs. So now we will see our January's here. We can see the variances from previous day. We can see ADR change, we can see revenue change, and we can see room count change from the previous day. After you're done with your total hotel future room sold data, you want to go back to on-queue front desk. You're going back to future room sold. Now you need to run your redemptions on the books. Again, you populate your dates. We're running it from January 1st through December 31st of 2022. You're going to need to select the rate plan code and the rate plan type that you need for redemptions. Rate plan type will be local, and the rate plan code would be SRR, which is our redemptions SRP. Again, for the sake of saving everyone's time, this report takes about 4 minutes to run. I pre-populated it before the call just so we don't have to stay online and keep on hold. Here is my report for the future rooms sold only for redemptions, and how you can double check that on the header of the report. You can always see what the report dates are, what your rate plan type is local, and your rate plan code is SRR. This is how you can double check that you ran the report for the correct SRP, because that's what we need. We need the redemptions. Then you go ahead to the column G, and you're highlighting your sold total. You're copying the entire row, and you're going back to your pickup report, to the data sheet future tab, and you pasting it into the column E. That's your reward stay totals. Now, the one last thing to do is to go to your on-queue front desk and double check your out of order rooms. So you will need to go to out of order activity summary report and populate it for your entire year. Now remember, on this report, data will show only if you have rooms out of order. If you do not have rooms out of order, and I'm populating it now because it's pretty quick, we don't have any rooms out of order, and the report will appear blank. So don't be alarmed if you see the blank report. That just means you don't have any rooms out of order in the future dates. Then you're complete with this task. And this is it. You completed your pickup report for 2022. You're not updating any actuals for past data. So therefore, it's only easy few steps for you to complete the report, save it, and send it out to the team. Now, for the sake of the presentation, let's go over and pretend that we are working January 1st. You come to work in the morning, you're preparing a report for, this would be January 2nd. Now, then you will need to update your past data because January 1st will already actualize, and this data will have to be reflected on the columns D through I. Now, assuming we're working on January 1st and preparing a report for January 2nd, 2022, the first thing that you want to do after you save the report with a correct date is to go to your datasheet future and delete any data that you had here for January 1st. You go to your datasheet prior day and delete all the data that you have for January 1st. The reason that I'm pointing this out is because several times there have been mistakes where we would forget to remove data for the past day, however, updating it on these columns, but then it would duplicate and be listed twice in both columns, on your past data and on your future data. Any past day data does not belong on the future room sold data, as for obvious reasons. Now, after you delete it, past data for January 1st, you need to update the data. Now here, you will need 3 reports. You go back to your OnQ front desk. You need to get your room guest statistics from the day before. You need to get your PTD, YTD accounting report, and you need to get your occupancy analysis report. Now, room guest statistics report is, I just like to preview it. I export it for in PDF. Now, everybody, however, whatever is easier for you. You don't have to export it. You can just work from the screen. But I just like to do that because it's easier for me that way. Now, I already pre-populated my room guest statistics report in PDF. I also pre-populated my PTD, YTD accounting report, and I pre-populated my occupancy analysis report for the night before. Now, once you're working on your pickup report and we assume that for last night, we'll take last night's data as January 1st. Now, on room guest statistics report, this is the report where you will get your total rooms sold for last night, which is your occupied rooms suites. This is your number. You go ahead and update it here. From room guest statistics report, you will also get your net room suite revenue, which is your revenue that we are reporting for last night. So you're gonna go ahead and take that number. Also from room guest statistics report, you will also get your number of no-show rooms from last night. Just scroll down. you find your no-shows for last night, right here, and one no-show. And from this report, you will also get your out-of-order rooms, which is right here. Your out-of-order rooms are showing 0. Now, we're done with room guest statistics report. Next report that you need is PTD YTD accounting. I pre-populated this report right here. Now, this is quite lengthy report, and it includes data for today, year to date, and period to date. You need to go to your RA, room suite allowances. I missed it. There we go. You're looking for RA, room suite allowances, and you want to check your room allowance for today only, which today we're working off of the previous business day. This number is right here. So we see that we had 164.64 allowance from last night. You will put that number in this box. Now remember, parentheses indicate that it's a negative number, which is obvious because it's an allowance. You need to enter a negative number in the allowances. If you see that this number does not have parentheses, there's something wrong because allowances cannot have a positive number. It is an allowance. It's a deduction. Therefore, it will always have parentheses in it, and it will always be negative. Now, if you see it as positive, there's something wrong, bring it up to your supervisor or manager's attention. Now we're going to take that number and we're going to enter it as a negative, which is minus 164.64. You see the negative numbers will always be in red, so it's easier for us to identify. All right, so we're done with period to date, year to date accounting report. The one last thing that we need to update is the reward redemption rooms on the books from last night. For this, you will need the occupancy analysis report, also pre-populated already from last night. You go into your occupancy analysis report. It's a pretty lengthy report. It indicates everything that has been posted on the books from last night, all the room numbers. You're going to go all the way down to the end of the report where you can see the summary by SRP for everything that has been posted. As you know, SRP for our redemptions is L-SRR. We're looking to find on the report, I know it's very small, we have located our SRR right here, and we need the occupied rooms number, which is right here. It's 35. You had 35 redemptions on the books last night. We're importing this number here. You have completed entering the past data information. You don't have any past data information in the future because we successfully deleted that from our data sheet future tab and data sheet prior date tab. Now you have completed the pickup report. Now, the one last step that you will need to do is to save this report and distribute it to your team. Please make sure that you're using the most current distribution list. Your distribution list should include Lara Staleb-Gibb, our VP of Revenue Management and Marketing. You want to include Lisa Giamo, our VP of Sales. You want to include your RDO of your region. You want to include your RDOS, your revenue manager of the hotel, GM, AGM, supervisors, front office supervisors, property accounting, director of sales and sales managers. I'm not quite sure what's your distribution list look like. Everybody has a different list. However, just please make sure, look over the names, make sure that all the names are current. You're not sending the report to somebody who is no longer with the company. It's always, this report goes to our corporate office, so it's always good to make sure that you're sending it to the right people. Now, before you send it out, you can always say good morning. Attach, please find your pickup report. We want you to take the snippet or copy the snapshot of the week and paste it into the body of the email. You can simply copy it from your pickup report. Successfully copied it into your body of the email. You're writing your hotel code, 2022 pickup report, and the date. You're attaching the pickup report and you're sending it out to everyone. Now, most common mistakes that we have found in completing the pickup report is the date of the report is wrong. The dates do not correspond, where it's really important that you pay attention on which date you actually pasting data to. It always needs to be next to the date that you start working on. So if you're working on January, you came to work on January 1st, you're preparing a report for January 2nd, always need to make sure you start pasting your future room sold data next to the corresponding date. Sometimes sometimes you're just not paying attention. Somebody came to the front desk for something. Just please make sure that you're pasting to the right date, because otherwise the data will be wrong, and this would be a bad pickup report, really. What else? That's really it. Do you guys have questions? Let's look at the chat. No, I don't see any questions in the chat. I'll give you guys a few minutes. Want to speak up or drop your question in the chat. Once again, here is my information. If you think of something. Now, any of your questions are really welcome. It will be helpful to know what are you struggling with. What can we do to help you?
Hey, Mosh, I've got two housekeeping probably the wrong term, but two notes. One is that for everybody, I think you may have mentioned already, but we will have YouTube training links going out in a few weeks, probably within the next 2 weeks. Everything Masha went through is on the instructions tab of the pickup report, but she kind of walked you guys through what it looks like. The YouTube videos will also go out. So there'll be 2 for Hilton, and you can go back and reference, maybe you missed a certain moment within this training or something like that. This is a recorded video, so you'll be able to go back and look at everything. We're also, in a few weeks, going to post, email or post a few night audit, well, they're usually night auditors, a few pickup report, I guess I would call them experts, people that do it really well, kind of appear to you guys that you could reach out to them and ask them questions that you may struggle with, any concepts you may struggle with or something like that. We try to do that every year so you guys can reach out to them. And then one other note is that likely in mid to late December, but probably mid-December, your revenue managers are going to go back through and double check your budgets, because when you get the pickup report, each pickup report is going to be customized to your hotel. We're going to have your budget, your actual numbers from last year and this year, or from 2019 and this year, in the template already for you. but there may be a few hotels that have budget numbers that get updated between when we send it out and mid-December. So we'll take care of that, but just be cognizant of in mid-December, we may be sending out another pickup report from your hotel, and at that point, you'll be using that future forward. It would just be updated budget numbers.
Yes.
Thanks, Masha.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Brian. Yes, it's your instructions tab on the pickup report is your best friend. If you forgot something, if you forgot where to pull, what reports to pull, it's all listed here, step by step, where the data is coming from, where to paste it to. So yes, instructions tab is really your best friend. Yes, thank you for that, Brian. All right. Does anybody have any questions? Okay. All right. I don't see anything. Once again, here is my information. If you think of anything, please feel free to reach out anytime. I'm happy to answer any questions. Thank you. Thank you guys for attending.
Thanks, Masha.
No.
Thanks for everybody for joining.
Thank you, Brian.
All right.
Okay.
See you later.
Yep. Talk to you soon. Bye. Bye-bye.